Bao Island Storyteller, Journey to the West. Hey kids, welcome to Bao Island. On Bao Island, every story has a taste. Today's taste is sulfur steam and wild mountain green. This episode, we're in Wulai. Today's story, The White Dragon Horse.
Welcome aboard the Bao Island bus, everyone. I'm your captain. We've driven south from Taipei along the Xindian River, the water getting clearer and greener as the mountains close in around us, and we've arrived in Wulai, deep in the mountains of southern New Taipei. Wulai is Atayal indigenous territory. The Atayal people have lived in these mountains for thousands of years, hunters, weavers, keepers of an oral tradition older than any book on this bus.
The mountains here feel different. Wilder. Like the forest is actually in charge.
Wulai means hot and steaming in Atayal, referring to the natural hot springs that bubble up from the riverbed here. The whole area smells faintly of sulfur from the springs. The river runs jade green below the road, fed by streams from the mountain peaks above.
I can see the waterfall from here. That's Wulai Falls. It drops about 80 meters straight down.
One of the tallest waterfalls in northern Taiwan.
This whole place is like a different world. We've only come 40 minutes from Taipei and it feels like we're in the deep mountains of a story.
Today's story has deep mountains, a dangerous stream, and a dragon. We're in the right place. There's something here, something earthy and wild rising up through the sulfur steam, the mountain itself turning into food, as if the forest and the hot springs conspired to put something on your plate.
Excited, what is it? Tell me, tell me.
Take a guess.
Mouth full, let me take a bite first. Excitedly, mountain cuisine. The best thing about coming up into the hills. There's a small restaurant here with wild greens and mountain pork and bamboo shoots.
Wulai's mountain food is some of the most distinctive in Taiwan.
Excitedly, on the table, a plate of stir-fried wild fern shoots, bitter and grassy, slightly slippery, with garlic and chili. A bowl of bamboo shoot soup, clean and sweet, the bamboo thick and crunchy. And the centerpiece, mountain boar, wild pork, braised with mountain spices until the meat falls apart but still has that earthy, gamey depth that farmed pork just doesn't have.
The Atayal traditionally ate what the mountain provided. Millet, wild game, river fish, forest greens.
You can taste the difference between food grown on a mountain and food grown on a flat farm. The mountain food is more intense. Like it had to work harder to exist.
Plants and animals that survive in difficult terrain develop more flavor.
Mouth full, that is poetic and also delicious. Difficult terrain equals more flavor. Apply to life as needed.
We'll apply that to a dragon in about 10 minutes.
Gasping, the dragon. Right. Tell me about the dragon.
Sun Wukong has the headband. He and Tang Monk are traveling west together, still cautiously, still learning each other. Sun Wukong is capable, powerful, willing. Tang Monk is patient, gentle, grateful. Things are going reasonably well.
Finally.
And then they reach a river. Wide, deep, dark. Mist on the surface. No bridge. No ford. The river is called Eagle Grief Stream.
That's an ominous name for a river.
The kind of name that suggests the eagles themselves are sad about it.
You don't name a river Eagle Grief if things are going fine there.
No.
Tang Monk stops at the bank and looks at the water. His horse is nervous, sidling, snorting, refusing to go closer. Sun Wukong crouches and peers into the mist.
Is something in the water?
Something very large is watching from the deep. A young dragon, powerful, hungry, bored from waiting in this stream for a long time. It sees a horse on the bank. It thinks, lunch.
Oh no.
It explodes out of the water, enormous, silver-scaled, trailing mist, and swallows Tang Monk's horse in one motion. Horse, saddle, luggage, everything. Then it turns and retreats back to the depths.
Shocked, it ate the horse?
The whole horse. Gone.
That's Tang Monk's only horse. How is he going to get to India without a horse?
Sun Wukong sees the whole thing. He's furious. He dives at the river, staff at the ready, but the dragon is deep in the water, and even Sun Wukong can't drag it out from below. He paces the bank, screaming insults into the water.
Laughing, he's shouting at the river?
At the top of his voice. The kind of shouting where you're not sure if you're angry or embarrassed.
Probably both.
Eventually, Sun Wukong calls on heaven for help. A messenger comes, one of the heavenly officials, who explains, this isn't just any dragon.
Who is it?
The third son of the Dragon King of the Western Sea. His name is Wulai. He committed a serious offense. He accidentally set fire to a priceless object in his father's palace and was sentenced to death by the Jade Emperor. Guanyin intervened at the last moment and arranged a different punishment. He would wait in Eagle Grief Stream until a monk traveling west needed transportation. Then he would serve as that monk's mount all the way to India and back.
Slowly, he was waiting to become a horse.
Guanyin placed him there specifically for this moment.
She's been planning every single detail.
Every person on this journey, Sun Wukong, the dragons, the later disciples, none of them arrived by accident. Guanyin arranged every piece, sometimes years or centuries in advance.
Thoughtfully, that's a long game.
The longest game.
Let's go look at the waterfall. There's a short trail to the base.
Odd, you can feel the spray from here. The mist just fills the air. Everything is wet and cool.
Wulai Falls is fed by the Nanchur River coming down from the high peaks. In rainy season it's much larger, the whole face of the cliff turns white.
Standing at the base of a waterfall is one of those experiences where you feel small in a good way. Like, the mountain doesn't care about your problems. It's been doing this for thousands of years.
The waterfall predates every city on the island.
There's something freeing about that. Like, your worries are real, but so is this waterfall. And the waterfall was here first.
The dragon of Eagle Grief Stream felt small too, in that moment. Sentenced, waiting, knowing his role was to be a horse. Not a dragon king. Not a warrior. A horse.
That must have been humbling.
Let's see how he handles it. Guanyin herself comes to Eagle Grief Stream. She calls to the dragon, little dragon, come out. The monk has arrived.
And he comes out?
He surfaces, enormous, terrifying, silver-scaled, eyes like lanterns. He looks at Tang Monk on the bank. He looks at Sun Wukong, who is holding his staff and radiating the energy of someone who has been waiting for a rematch.
Tense moment.
Guanyin raises her hand. She throws a pearl of light into the dragon's open mouth, and the transformation begins.
Hushed, what does it look like?
The huge silver body contracts, shifts. The scales change color, pure white. The dragon shape resolves into the form of a horse, graceful, broad-backed, white as snowfall, mane like silk. It stands quietly on the bank, breathing clouds of steam in the mountain mist.
whispered a white horse.
Not Tang Monk's old horse. This one is different. Stronger. Tireless. It will carry the monk through deserts and blizzards, over mountains and rivers, without complaint.
Quietly, from dragon to horse. That's a big change.
That's the question, isn't it? Was it a punishment or a gift?
On the way back from Wulai, we stopped at Bitten, Green Lake, in Xindian. A wide lake formed by a dam on the Xindian River. Suspension bridge across the middle. Tea houses on the hillside.
The water really is green. That deep jade color.
The color comes from minerals in the river, fine silt that scatters the light. In certain conditions it looks almost turquoise.
This is such a peaceful spot. Paddle boats. Couples walking. Old men fishing.
Bitten has been a popular retreat from Taipei since the Japanese colonial era. You can rent a paddle boat and go out to the middle of the lake.
On the water, we're paddling. Bridge, keep telling the story. I can multitask.
Laughing while paddling.
While paddling. The dragon became a horse. Then what?
The white horse stands on the bank. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't fight. Tang Monk approaches carefully. He's always been gentle with animals and lays a hand on the horse's neck.
Does the horse react?
It turns its head and looks at Tang Monk with large, calm eyes. Then it lowers its head, very slightly. Like a bow.
Quietly, oh.
It recognizes him. The monk it was placed here to serve. This was why the dragon was imprisoned. This moment, right here.
And Tang Monk gets on.
And the journey continues.
Paddling, what is the dragon, the horse, thinking in that moment?
The book doesn't say. But I think about it sometimes. He was a king's son. He had power, magic, a palace in the deep sea. He burned one thing by accident and lost everything. And was given this, carry a monk across the world, in the shape of a horse.
Was it fair?
By the standards of the heavenly court, he was guilty. By any human standard, it was a very harsh sentence for an accident. But what he did with it?
He carried the monk. All the way.
14 years. Every step. Every mountain, every desert, every time a demon captured Tang Monk and Sun Wukong had to fight to get him back, the white horse waited. Ready. Present.
Quietly, the one who never gets credit.
Gently, the one who never asked for credit.
Excitedly, back at Wulai for our second food. Atayal millet cake. Made at a little stall run by an Atayal grandmother.
A very traditional food.
Excitedly, millet is the traditional grain of the Atayal, grown in mountain fields, harvested by hand, dried and ground. The millet cake is glutinous millet, steamed, then pounded until it becomes a soft, sticky mass, denser than rice mochi, with this faintly nutty, earthy aroma. You eat it in slices, sometimes with wild honey drizzled on top. It's simple, it doesn't try to be fancy. The flavor is quiet, subtle, clean, like the mountain itself.
Millet has been part of Atayal culture for thousands of years. Every harvest was a ceremony. Every meal of millet connected the living to the ancestors who grew it before them.
Eating, thoughtful, food as memory. Every bite is also a way of remembering where you came from.
The white horse has a similar quality. He carries the memory of what he was, a dragon, in every step he takes as a horse. You never entirely lose what you were.
Even when you change completely.
Especially then.
The white horse is interesting to me because he barely gets mentioned in the story. Sun Wukong is loud and memorable. Tang Monk is the main character. But the horse just goes.
Steady, quiet, essential.
Every great journey has someone like that. The person who doesn't make speeches, doesn't have the dramatic moments, but without them, nothing moves.
The engine of the thing.
Is the horse ever going to become a dragon again?
At the very end of the journey, when the scriptures are retrieved and everyone is rewarded, the white horse is allowed to transform back. He becomes a dragon again, and is given a place of honor in the heavenly court.
Warmly, he gets it back.
Everything he gave up, he gets back with interest.
So the lesson is, do the humble work. Don't give up your identity just because you're doing something small right now. The small work is what makes the big thing possible.
And at the end, what you truly are, they can't take that from you forever.
Quietly, that's one of the better things we've said in 15 episodes.
The Atayal have a tradition called Gaga, a system of rules and values that guides how people live and relate to each other and to nature. One principle: everyone has a role. The hunter, the weaver, the storyteller, the elder, each role is equally important for the community to survive.
The horse has a role.
Everyone has a role. Sun Wukong fights. Tang Monk prays. The horse carries. Later disciples each bring their own specific strength. The journey needs all of them.
What about us, the listeners?
Smiling, you're the witnesses. Someone has to remember the story and carry it forward.
Pause, I can do that.
You've been doing it for 15 episodes. Before we leave Wulai, we should mention the hot springs. The whole riverbed here is geothermal. The water comes up from volcanic rock deep below. You can soak your feet right at the public pool at the riverside.
Sighing contentedly, oh, this is wonderful. Hot mineral water after all that mountain food.
The Atayal call the hot springs the mountain's gift. The earth here gives warmth.
Tang Monk and Sun Wukong and the white horse, do they have anywhere to rest on their journey? Or is it just constant mountains and monsters?
In between the battles, yes. Monasteries sometimes take them in. Helpful spirits give them shelter. Not always, sometimes they sleep under the stars on a mountain road. But the journey has its resting places too.
In the hot spring water, rest is part of the journey.
Can't travel far without rest.
Even the mountains rest.
Laughing softly, did you just say mountains rest?
Between earthquakes.
Laughing, that's technically correct.
Time to wrap up. The mountain mist is coming down into the valley now. The waterfall sounds quieter in the mist, somehow. The springs are still warm.
Today we drove south from Taipei into the mountain territory of the Atayal Wulai, where the hot springs steam and the waterfalls thunder and the food tastes like the mountain worked hard to make it. We ate wild fern shoots, mountain boar, bamboo shoot soup, and quiet millet cake made from a grain that's fed this community for thousands of years. And we heard about a dragon prince who burned something precious, lost his shape, and waited in a mountain stream for the monk he was meant to carry, then became a white horse, and carried that monk all the way across the world.
He never complained. Not once.
Not in the book.
That's either very admirable or a sign that we don't have enough chapters from the horse's point of view.
Perhaps both.
Next time, we leave New Taipei and head south, Taoyuan, the gateway to Taiwan. A new province, new food, and a new chapter in the journey.
Next stop, Taoyuan. And in the story, more disciples are coming. The journey is filling out. But also more monsters. Many more monsters.
Sighing happily, I'm ready. I have a stomach full of mountain food and a heart full of dragon horse feelings.
Perfect preparation. Softly, carry what matters quietly, the mountain sees your every step. On Bao Island, stories grow up with you.